This quick and easy Vietnamese beef noodle recipe is perfect for cold days and even not so cold days. Tasty hot soup with delicious beef and slurpy noodles. You're gonna love this. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. We want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas as you spend this holiday season with your family and friends. My friend Jack recently was saying that she would never make pho at home because it just seems so complicated and takes so much time. So today we're going to do a very quick and easy version of Vietnamese beef noodles, which is also called pho. But before we get started, please take a second to click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. I have 2 onions and I'm just going to cut them in half. And what we want to do is char the onions. So it's going to take about 10 minutes or so in the Instant Pot. I have the saute mode on high heat, and we're just going to let that kind of cook. Saute adjusted to high heat, and we're just gonna let that heat up. I also have about 3 ounces of ginger. It's like about a 4-inch piece of ginger. I'm just gonna kind of cut it in half and then just down the middle.
Hey, look, it's the thumbs up.
Oh, look at that. It's so funny. We're going to just cut it in half. In my previous recipe for beef pho, I actually slice it up, and that's just way too much work because I think we can still get the same flavors by just cutting it in half. Adding a tablespoon of vegetable oil, or whatever cooking oil you're using. And that's as soon as your pot is hot. We're just gonna put this down and let it sit for like 10 minutes. And if you don't want to do it this way, another quick way to do it is to just stick it under the broiler until it's all black. Same with the ginger. You put them kind of open side down. Oh, I can smell it already. It smells yummy. All right, let it sit for 10 minutes. Don't touch it. I'm also using 3 pounds of a bone-in beef shin, and I've already parboiled this. And that just means that I bring a pot of water to boil, and I put these in there for about 10 minutes to release some of the impurities and kind of gunk in the bones that we don't want to eat. And you'll see that it just lifts up all of this like beef scum that floats to the top of your water. So we want to have a clean soup without all of that scum. So that's why we parboil first. Once you're done parboiling it, just rinse it under cold water, kind of scrub where the bone is, because you'll find that there'll be a little bit of like beef or the impurities kind of just floating to the top, and you can just scrub it off really easily. Hey, it's been 10 minutes. Let's see what they look like on the bottom. Yeah, sorry, couldn't show you. So literally burnt at the bottom, which is what you want. I'm just gonna release it, otherwise the pot will think that you're actually literally burning food at the bottom and might freak out on you when it tries to pressure cook. So leave that. I'm gonna turn off the saute mode and add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, adding 1 cinnamon stick, 2 star anise, for these, 4 cloves. These are these little things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got about a tablespoon of rock sugar. And if you don't have rock sugar, you can just use regular sugar. I'm also going to add my beef shin now. Using half a teaspoon of coriander. And if you want to use whole coriander, then I would put a whole teaspoon of coriander, teaspoon of salt, And I'm just going to add enough water to cover, so I'm assuming it's going to be about 6 to 8 cups. All right, that's 8 cups of water. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of fish sauce. And my shortcut, I'm adding a tablespoon of beef bouillon. And that will add to the beefy flavor because I didn't add any bones to make the broth. And I'm only going to cook this for half an hour, and that's not going to be enough to actually make it as beefy as I'd like. So I'm adding a tablespoon of beef bouillon. And if you're not going to use the meat and the bones, then I would just use more beef bouillon. You're just looking to get the same flavors or similar flavors as you would in a restaurant without all the work. Putting the lid on, locking it into place, making sure the sealing knob is on a sealing, and we're going to manual, that's high pressure, cook for 30 minutes, and that will be the soup. Once the soup finished cooking, I let it naturally pressure release and then quick release the rest after about 15 minutes because the pot was quite full and I didn't want it to spew up the top. But look at that. It looks so good. I can't even tell you. Oh my goodness.
The aroma, good.
Yup. While the soup was cooking, I prepared the rest of the ingredients. So I have some bean sprouts, I cut up a lime, some jalapeno peppers, and there's some Thai basil here. I also have some green onions chopped up and some cilantro. I purchased some steak that is thinly sliced so that I didn't have to eat the meat from the soup, but you can totally eat that meat as well. I also have some sriracha and some hoisin sauce because some people enjoy the pho with that. And I'm using fresh noodles and it only took 5 seconds to cook. So if you can't find the fresh ones, you can just use dried. There's just a little bit in this bowl because I just want you to have a taste. And so I'm just gonna add the things and show you how to assemble. So you would have a normal bowl of noodles and you can put some meat on top. And the meat is raw, but it will cook in the hot soup. A little bit of bean sprouts, some green onions, a little bit of cilantro, and then I'll let Jude add the rest. See that meat cooking, and that will also flavor your broth. Just make sure that your soup is hot enough to cook. Are you ready for?
Oh yeah. This is one of those days when you really want something like this. See this beef? We usually get it for something like a shabu shabu, like hot pot. It's sliced thinly and it's perfect. All right, let's add some stuff to this. Some jalapenos for heat. I don't always eat the jalapenos raw. Sometimes I just like to dip it in there, and when they're spicy enough, the soup will just get that hotness, that spiciness infused into the soup, and I just roll it around. Some Thai basil. Let's get some more in there, shall we? All right, and squeeze some lime in there. I don't add the sriracha, but I sometimes add a little hoisin sauce on the side to dip the meat into. So it's got a little dab in there. All right, gonna dip it in here. Oh, tender. Yum. Taste of the broth, of course. Nice flavors. Good. I mean, we're talking about a shortcut, quick way to get pho onto the table. Oh yeah. So good. Look at all that soup that's ready to roll. You're doing it at home, you are definitely saving money, and you know exactly what goes in there, and you can adjust the taste however you want. You can add more fish sauce if you want, but this is awesome.
Awesome, dude. Thanks. As Dude mentioned, you can adjust the flavors by adding more fish sauce or even more salt. Again, just a very Merry Christmas to you and your family. For more simple, easy Vietnamese recipes, check it out. I will see you over there. This quick and easy Vietnamese beef noodle soup is, I don't know what.